Everyone, hope you're all doing so well and welcome to this little vlog. And yes, I do look like I'm being held hostage here because in actual fact I'm on a slow moving train and now a slow moving bus. And this was my little trip into London for lunch and to check out some oil painting brushes, which are coming up soon. Here's some lovely wall art in this nice restaurant, and this is something that looks interesting with something on it. And here is some lunch, and very good indeed it was, some potatoy thing, and yes, it tastes like food. And here is my exploration up to Whole Foods, which lasted about a minute because I looked at the mangoes that cost about £3.50, and there I escaped, like escaping from the expensive food in Whole Foods. And here we have the magical brushes, but I had very little time to spend in the brush shop. This is in fact Cas Art, so I had to just buy whatever I could, and I ran 2 brushes. I wanted 3, but there wasn't time. Here is me just waiting for something, and in actual fact the security guard was looking at me like I was insane. Here was me waiting for a drink which never arrived. And finally I'm back home and here to test some of these brushes that I bought. Now, first of all, this one is actually one of those super fine detail brushes. It's not a liner brush, it's probably a 0 something. They usually have that number on them. And I found this brush to be absolutely amazing. And the brand was Pro Art. Now, I've tried lots of different Pro Art brushes before, but I've never tried this particular range. This, to me, is probably distinguished by a white paint job on the outside of it. They're white, basically. That's what I'm trying to say. They're white brushes, they're by Pro Art, and I'm sure they have a specific name, but I don't know what it is. I could have just read it off the side, but I didn't. And I think that this particular brush is really, really beautiful. It was excellent for fine detail, probably one of the best fine detail brushes I've tried so far. So absolutely 5 stars for this brush. Now, this is the second brush I got. This was a little bit interesting. This brush I felt was to be, actually felt it to be a little bit floppy. Now, this could be a good and a bad thing, because if the brush is more floppy, as in it has looser fibres, I find that it can actually create that sort of soft brush mark, which is really pretty. And in fact, it works really well in my particular type of art. So if you're looking for sort of those soft brushes, soft brush marks rather, then this type of a brush is what you'd be looking for. But what I find is that when I like to draw in, sort of paint in rather, paint in faces and very sort of detailed areas, I do like to have some density within the centre of the brush. And I found that this brush didn't have that density, but it still worked really nicely. And this is please forgive the terrible vertical video here, but I really hope you can see I flipped my camera around and I don't know, it just went bonkers. And this is a vertical video footage so far. So my conclusion on these Pro Art brushes is that they're amazing. They're actually really, really cheap. They're from the cheap range, but I highly recommend, and they're the white handle. So thank you so much for watching and take care, guys.